So you've never seen Raising Arizona, though. That's
Negative.
That was my first Nic Cage movie.
Really. I think my first Nic Cage movie. Oh shit! Probably Face Off.
My first Nic Cage movie was that one where he fucks that girl in the bed. What's it called? That awful one.
Zondale. You mean the one that's at the bottom of my list?
Yeah, that's it. No, I never saw it.
Oh, shall I? Let me start off here with my Cage rankings because I don't want any mystery in this. I love it. Adaptation is my favorite Cage movie.
It was solid.
But Raising Arizona is right there.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit better in Pig. I switched it around a little bit.
Oh no, Pig is a career-defining performance.
Yeah, Raising Arizona is a better movie though, but he's better in Pig.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I think I could go either way on the quality of Cage portion for Adaptation and Pig. Like, it's so close. I think there's more effort put into Adaptation.
Well, because he's playing two characters.
Yeah. Well, that, and I just think there's more depth.
Well, let's get deep into it after this.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the B-movie battle sanctioned by the government of Wonderland. Swear words of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the show. All other swear words are restricted. Wonderland officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the show and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 1 continuous hour. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until the review concludes. Blessed be our Wonderland leaders in America, a nation reborn. B-movie battle is now in effect.
Welcome to Movie Battle, episode 54. HCast 32, Adaptation 2002. I'm Kenny Quest.
Ticket.
I'm Jansen Carlin. The audio levels on that Share Coke with Nick thing it's a bit high. It scares me every fucking time it pops up. Like, fuck.
My end sounds fine.
Does it?
like that and the Purge thing sound the exact same.
So, I mean, it probably sounds the same. I think that the Purge thing is a little bit eased in is what it is. And that's just like a slap in the face. I'm like, fuck.
Weird. Well, it wakes you up, if nothing else. Like
right. I'm here.
All right, let's get into it. This is going to be an interesting one because we already did a positive Cage one last week. So what do we do this time?
2 weeks in a row, it's going to fuck us all up.
Yeah, Dick chose Adaptation. Adam chose The Rock. Jansen chose Lord of War, which you're doing next time, I believe.
I think so.
I think Lord of War's a good movie, too.
Yeah, Lord of War's good.
Lord of War's good.
And then it's the Vegas movies after that, right?
Andrew Nichols directed Lord of War.
He did Gattaca and Simone.
I like Gattaca. Simone is a piece of piling hot garbage.
Lord of War is a solid movie.
He did some other movie after. He did a movie after Warlord. Which was it? Lord of War. I don't know what it is.
I don't know, but yeah, the week after that, Jansen is A Score to Settle, and then after that is Honeymoon in Vegas and Leaving Las Vegas. I did that because I wanted to do those 2 Cage movies with a short episode, and the Creep Show episode we're gonna watch is like
longer,
15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I don't want to overwhelm everyone, so I kept it a little short. But all right, Adaptation. I have been. I secretly, every time I would do a poll, like the bingo hopper or the ping pong balls, when I threw those, I was hoping for Adaptation because it's my favorite Cage movie. And I'm kind of glad I did it later on because now I got all that perspective of these Cage movies I reviewed. And here we are. And this is my favorite Cage movie. It finally got released on Blu-ray.
Oh, man.
Oh, did it really?
By Shout Factory. And
really?
I just want to say, on the back it says, designed with the film lover in mind. Shout Select shines a light on films that deserve a spot on your shelf.
No special features.
Classics, the cult favorites, to unheralded gems. Shout Select, it's all caps, Celebrates the best in filmmaking, giving these movies the love and attention they deserve. Special features, original featurette, still gallery, theatrical trailer.
That's awful.
It's the worst shout thing I've ever seen.
Shout!
And I watched that original featurette. It's 2 minutes. It's all of them filming in the swamp while it's like a music video. It's terrible.
It is Spike Jonze.
Spike Jonze is great.
It was Weatherman's what he did after Lord of War. That's the one we were thinking of, by the way.
Oh, he didn't.
No, I'm talking about the director, not Nic Cage.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Nic Cage.
No, I don't care what Nic Cage did.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Good.
Nic Cage would do a good movie and then 70 fucking terrible movies.
Especially back in 2002 when Taxi came around.
He pretty much
I feel like he's had some good runs.
This was the last good Cage for like till today, really, because Pig. Like this is it.
No, there's a
really
bunch in between.
Because
Joe's probably the one that's good.
Joe
and Mandy. Okay, Mandy. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So let's go back away.
There's a lot.
If we may.
It's like 4.
Adaptation. Right after Adaptation was Matchstick Men.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you don't give.
It's not bad. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's a good one.
And then he did Lord of War.
Yeah.
Okay.
National Treasures. You don't know where you want to.
It's money.
It's blockbuster. Everybody loves it. But
Stormsters or Perennis.
But there's movies that were bad that I love, like Wicker Man.
That's bad.
And the next, he did a bunch of bad ones, and then he did Bad Lieutenant.
A great movie.
Great movie.
Kick Ass.
Kick Ass.
Great movie.
The Frozen Ground was actually surprisingly decent. Not a great movie. Neither here nor there, but solid. Him and John Cusack again. I like The Croods. He did a voice in that.
Right. I heard The Croods is good. Yeah.
Croods is good.
Seen it.
And then he did The Trust, one of my favorite Nic Cage movies. That's the one with Elijah Wood that I keep talking about.
Oh, okay.
He did Snowden, which is good. He did Army of One, was interesting. I don't know if you call that good or bad, but he makes some choices in that movie. He makes some. He's fucking. Watch a trailer for that movie, Army of One.
I'll have to watch that one.
He sounds like he's severely on the spectrum. He's okay in Mom and Dad. Mandy's good. He's great in Mandy. Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse is good.
Yeah.
Out of Space is good. And then we're with Pig. So quite a few in there I mentioned.
What was the one that he did? Shit. It was recent.
Describe plot.
I don't remember. I heard Joe was good.
Apparently, it wasn't that decent.
Joe's really good. Joe's
supposed to be really good. I didn't see that one.
Joe, if you look at my rankings here, Joe's at the top, toward the top. Number 4 on the right, number 5 on the left. But Joe's the one he said was closest to his actual personality.
Right, yeah.
Was it Grand Isle?
Grand Isle looks like it would be garbage, and it's okay. Like, it's fine. He's fine in it. It's fine. It's weird. Not in the weird you'd expect. Not weird like they promised with Willy's Wonderland, where you're like, it's not weird, I'm just bored.
I think that's been the worst Nic Cage movie we've watched is Willy's Wonderland, because everything else hasn't been that awful.
We did Between Worlds. That was Jansen and Adam and I.
Stupid.
That was awful.
That was next level dog shit.
I missed that one.
Be grateful.
You didn't miss anything.
He's in the yard spraying himself with a hose. Like, he's gonna fucking
so I mean, like the greatest things that we got from that movie is just the ridiculousness of some of those scenes. Like, I think we found a GIF of that, him spraying himself with the hose, and I use that all the time now.
Wow,
it's what I call ridiculous Cage.
Oh yeah. You
It's,
mean 95% of his career?
The plot is his wife is dead. What's her name from Run Lola Run? The German actress.
Yeah, Franca Ponita.
Her daughter's in an accident, and then Cage's wife's spirit takes over that girl. And then he fucks the mom, and then he starts fucking the girl on the side because it's the spirit of his wife. It's like a Lifetime movie meets Grindhouse. It's fucking awful.
So fucking weird.
We were trying to figure out who it was for the entire time. We have no answer for it.
There is no impact audience.
No. But Adaptation is just a solid movie. I love Spike Jonze. Even his weird performance in Three Kings. You ever see that movie, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Three Kings is great. That's why David O. Russell shows up in the dinner scene there with Meryl Streep and her husband.
Yeah, I was very skeptical when I didn't know where you felt about this movie before I started watching it today.
Yeah, I didn't.
And again, it was my first time watching it, but I was skeptical first like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, where's this going? But honestly,
well, let's start at the very beginning. Sorry, Dick. What?
No, I was just saying the third act is when it all goes hilariously wrong.
But that's the point, and that's what.
That's the point. Yeah.
And okay,
it's a mindfuck movie. It's good.
Well, everything's set up throughout the movie, and we'll get to that too.
I think personally, if you ask me, I think this is the best script ever written. That's just me.
I would say that, but yeah,
the best script ever.
It's one of the top 50 for sure. Yeah.
No, but just in fact, how it was written, what like the way it's the most meta movie ever.
The forward thinkingness of everything. It's like breaking the fourth wall and also being meta at the same time, and then it's like one of those things like, oh, if I when you get a thought and you're like, okay, I'm thinking about that thought, now I'm thinking about that thought, like this is the movie of that. Right.
when your movie says written by Charlie Kaufman and Donald Kaufman doesn't exist.
Yes.
So that's sort of the joke.
And he got nominated for an Oscar.
Yes.
A person who does not exist was nominated for an Oscar. I love that about
for best screenplay. Yeah,
for best screenplay.
Yeah, because Hollywood's stupid.
The first two scenes of this movie, when I first turned this on, because at this point I had already watched and loved Being John Malkovich.
Yeah,
great movie. It's in case you haven't seen it, Spike Jonze movie before this. It's John Cusack and what's her name?
Connie Keener.
No, the other girl.
Cameron Diaz.
He's married to her. He's a puppeteer, which is funny because they have a line about puppets in this, and that was definitely a reflection of that movie. But he at work with Kathy Keener, he finds a doorway that goes into John Malkovich's head, and you can see what John Malkovich does. And when you're done, it empties you out on the New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie. It's ridiculous when you hear it, but it starts off. The very first scene of Adaptation is black screen, and just like 2 minutes of monologue by Nic Cage, like his thoughts going like, I'm so fat, like maybe if I was less fat I'd be happier, but and it's just rambling and it's incoherent and it's all over the place, and it's thoughts that everyone has, right?
Sure.
Like maybe if I did like we're in the shower or when you're trying to sleep, you're having those thoughts. Like maybe like tomorrow I'm gonna get up and work out, I'm gonna run 5 miles, maybe get into rock climbing, like all that shit, and then the next morning you completely forget about it.
You get a bagel.
It starts off with that, and then it cuts to the set of Being John Malkovich, and it's John Malkovich going like, everybody shut up, like we need to hurry, reduce time between takes because these guys are in rubber suits, it's fucking hot.
Yeah.
And the camera rolls over and you see Charlie Kaufman played by Nic Cage, and he's just sitting there, and it tells you everything right then. Like he's there, and he's like, and you hear voiceover like, why am I here? I shouldn't be here. And he walks outside because he gets kicked off. Tells you so much right there.
Yeah.
And then, but the whole movie is let's get into the meta stuff, right? Because we're not getting the plot because everyone's seen the fucking movie if they're gonna watch a review about it. But
right, the
meta aspects of this is a real book. The Orchid Thief is a real book by what's her name?
Susan something.
Susan Orleans.
Something.
It's a real book, and Charlie Kaufman was tasked with turning this book into a real movie, and he's like, how do I do this? And that's literally what the movie is. How do I turn this into a movie? And then you literally watch everything from her side, going from writing the book with Chris Cooper and doing that for the New Yorker, turning it into a book, having it get optioned by the underweight Tilda Swinton, and
the super hot Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. And then you see Charlie Kaufman's side of it too, which is like, oh, maybe I'll do that, and fuck it, I'll write myself in there, and like, and you just watch that madness, and you watch these two plot lines like fold over each other.
Self-indulgent. I've written my script. It's self-indulgent. It's narcissistic.
Yeah, the overlap was the ultimate point for me in the movie. I mean, it's like that. It's that climax spot of, oh shit, we finally got to the point where we recognize that we are in the movie that he wrote, and watching him figure it out. It's so good.
And I guess the joke of the movie, though, is that the worst script ever written by his brother was actually a movie that came out a couple years later. There's like a movie that's just the same plot, I guess, that
So this
came
is
out.
2002, and then in 2006, this movie came out.
Identity. That's right. 3. Yeah.
No, 3 is
3. The name of the script.
Identity is also the same.
Yeah.
And has John Cusack in it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I like Identity.
I don't think I've ever watched it. I've never seen Identity.
Good, but it's enjoyable.
I've never seen
Ray
it.
Liotta. It's got Amanda Peet.
It's got a huge cast. Yeah.
The guy from Ernesto Don that runs Billy's World of Liquor. What the fuck?
Yeah. He was in Deadwood. He's in a bunch of stuff. He's a great actor. He's in
Ray Liotta's in it.
Yeah. Who's that guy that's from Ernesto Don? If you have it pulled up, Jansen.
It's oh shit. I know his name. It's
escaping me. But that guy is a great actor who does not ever get mentioned. So that's why I want to say his
John
name.
Hawkes.
John Hawkes. Yeah.
John Hawkes. Yeah.
He's great. He's in Winter's Bone. He's in that movie where Helen Hunt gets naked completely.
Oh yeah.
That's Sessions. That's a great movie because he plays a paraplegic in that, and he's fucking great.
But his scene in the opening of Ernesto Don is really short, but he's great. Like, I never just screaming at them. I never mouth the words, help me. What does it fucking matter? You got about 2 fucking seconds to live.
Pruitt Taylor Vincent. He always plays such a fucking crazy character.
Yeah, he's so to spoil that movie if I could.
Go ahead.
The whole movie's in his mind. And he's got like the crazy eye, you know?
From Dusk Till Dawn?
Oh, no.
I thought there was going to be another portion of Adaptation where he ends up being himself, his brother, and the writer of the book, kind of like the screenplay for 3 is supposed to be.
You'd have to. The whole joke of the movie is the McKee session, because Roger McKee's a real screen writer guru guy, and it's funny because every Hollywood writer would say, "Don't listen to McKee. Fuck you. That's cheap. That cheapens us all." But yeah, he goes to the Robert McKee because, oh no, you gotta go. He's great. He's just Donald loves Robert McKee. No, I said I gotta use this for my script. It really worked, and it's just oh god, so funny. But Brian Cox is Robert McGee in the movie, and he's so fucking funny. And just goes, use voiceover, I'll fucking kill you. Don't use voiceover.
They're not rules, they're principles.
And if you use a Deus Ex Machina, God help you. And that's exactly what happens at the end of this movie, is the Deus Ex Machina of the alligators killing.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Chris Cooper.
Fuckfish.
It's okay. There's so much in this movie to get to, and that's why it's hard to talk about because it's all over the place on purpose.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah,
to go off what Jansen was saying, it was the characters of the 3. That's supposed to be Chris Cooper's character, Meryl Streep, and Donald are all supposed to be the same character, and it's all in Charlie's mind.
See, I was thinking it was going to be Charlie, Donald, and the writer, Meryl Streep.
Charlie exists in real life and it's writing it, so
that makes sense.
3 people would be the same character because none of them, they're all kind of made up because none of them. Well, one of them is really made up. The other 2 are like severe fantasy versions of the actual people.
That's the thing. I wonder if they were kind of mad because, like, she's a married woman, like, and this movie portrays her as a drug addict.
Well, it's just awful bitch. If you go on IMDb, it says like she. Sorry, Jansen, 1 second.
No, go ahead.
It says she was like she got the script and she read it and they're like, do we have your permission to option the rest of this? And she's like, fuck no. And then she took a minute and she's like, okay, yeah, go ahead. And then they made it and she watched it and she's like, oh, I loved it. Because
she at first was
the only thing that turned her around was seeing how Charlie Kaufman wrote himself and going like, because Charlie Kaufman's a good looking dude. He's fine. He's not bald. He's not fat.
He's not a good looking guy.
He's fine. He's not.
He looks average. He's not. He's not handsome.
He's not fat. He's not bald.
He's not. No.
He's not any of these attributes that he gave himself in the script. So she was like, okay, so that's what we're doing, like a heightened.
That's the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the joke. Is everyone is like the most extremely terrible version of themselves.
Yeah,
sure. And that's what turned her around on that. She's like, I love it.
But when you fucking drug addict.
Yeah. Fuck
you, fatty.
So my one question is because I obviously I haven't read the book. I don't know the actual story of what happened with this movie, and I'm assuming you guys might know more than myself, but the third act of the movie is just all fiction.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that because Donald, his brother, who doesn't exist in real life, but Donald Kaufman lives with him, is his identical twin. He's trying to get into screenwriting just like his brother, and he's writing this terrible script called 3 with all these characters. This killer
called the 3, isn't it?
Yeah, and the girl who are all the same people. And Charlie's such a dick about it at the beginning, where he's like, "You can't do that. No, it's not going to work." And then he's like, because Donald at one point goes, "This isn't the one he uses here, but it's the one he uses later with Maggie Gyllenhaal, where he's like, I got an idea of like man versus machine, where the cops chasing him in a car and he's on a horse. So it's like, and he's like, sounds great. Can't wait to watch it. And she's like, I knew he'd love it. But he finally stops saying, no, you can't do that. He just goes, yeah, go for it. He just lets him fly.
Yeah.
Right. Because at that point, he's finally figured out what he's going to do with this movie, right? Previously, in the original or the first portions of the movie, he still doesn't know where he's headed with all this. So now he's got that off his back.
Yeah. At first, he wasn't like as invested in this book as turning it into a script as that. And then eventually he's like, that's all I can think about. And he starts blowing off shit just to do it as an excuse. And then he starts really getting into it. Like, how the fuck do I do? Like, realization sets in. I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. And I picture Charlie Kaufman literally trying to do this going, I have no fucking idea. I'll go crazy with it. Fuck it. And that's when he came up with this. But so I think he just goes, Donald, I don't care. I got so much on my plate right now. Just do it. Yeah, sounds great. Like, it doesn't matter.
So my curiosity leads me to wanting to know from Charlie himself, like, okay, where did the inspiration for the brother come from then? Because that's the one piece in all of this that, like, it adds so much to the story, but we know it didn't happen in real life. So where did that come from?
I'm thinking that
is it his part of his internal, like, I wish I could be like this type of thing?
No, I think it's the joke is every bad idea for a movie, put it in a movie. So you have the voiceover, you have the plot twist where it's an action movie, you have the twin character, because movies that have twins usually stupid. Yeah, I think that's the joke is that he's playing two characters and that's self-indulgent. Just like the writer says, I wrote myself the script of self-indulgent, narcissistic. Well, actors, same thing. You're playing two different characters to show off.
So really, it's a product of a culmination of saying, I'm going to do everything you're not supposed to do in a movie, is where that character comes from.
It's another layer of the meta-ness of this whole thing.
Well, the entire Donald character represents what you're supposed to do in a movie. Like Hollywood. He's Hollywood. Donald is Hollywood.
Right.
That's really what it boils down to. Yeah. Which is he's that voice in your head that is like, you need to make money on this. Like, do this to sell it. But he's trying to like push him away. And eventually at the end, he calls Donald and brings him over because nothing's happening with his screenplay. And he's like, Donald, I need to come to New York and figure this out. And that's when the Hollywood aspect of the movie comes in. Yeah. Because that's when the Deus Ex Machina comes in, and that's when like everything changes and it goes schlocky and it goes.
It turns hilarious.
Ron Livingston shows up.
No, that was earlier, but he invites Hollywood into the script, and that's when it becomes like this cliche ending.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the point of the Donald character.
So how great is that one scene though when they're running away from, they're running away getting shot at Cooper shooting him. And he's talking about the girl that made fun of him. Like he goes, I loved her so much. She's so pretty. Donald, Donald. They laughed at you. You didn't see it. He goes, oh, I knew they made fun of me. It was a joke, and it didn't matter because I loved her. You know, you couldn't take that from me, not even her. And it's like such a sad moment. Oh my God, this is heartbreaking. Well, and then he dies.
But I think that shows you the true genius of it too, is because like he took something that had no bearing in real life, had no bearing in the actual story that he was trying to write, and he worked it in there and actually gave it some sort of meaning. And
if you look back, like the Hollywood, if you look at Donald as Hollywood, it also has value of like it's not all complete schlock selling out. There's a little bit of good in there. They can't take that away from you if you write a good script.
Sure.
If they make it
well, and I think that's one thing we can take away from Nicolas Cage himself is that there's a lot of schlock that he puts out, but he's taking it all in stride because he just wants to work and do stuff, and he's getting away with it.
It could also be the trope in movies where the character talks about his personal life, and the next scene he gets killed, because that happens in all those cop movies and war movies. I got a girl back home. I'm gonna marry her as soon as I get off this mission. Ah!
I'm retiring in 2 weeks.
Ah!
Last day on the job. I'm gonna retire. Oh God! Tell my wife
No, Mendoza.
Well, and they added that little schlocky piece in there too, didn't they? Because he's like talking at the end, and then he stops talking, and like we don't hear what he says. And he's like, "What? What did you say?"
He starts singing and brings him back to life for a second. And
and
I love even that itself is a joke, making fun of how movies do that at the end with the music. We start playing a pop song, and it's like he starts singing the pop song to him, and he's like, like to wake him up, like with an audience. So like, literally everything is a setup and making fun of scripts,
which is the song at the end of the song plays at the end of the movie too.
There is
So
an
happy
entire
together
character here devoted to making fun of Hollywood scripts. That is intense.
Well, I'd like to bring it back to the point of like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. It's like you talk about how there's a setup and a payoff. That's the entire movie of this too. Like there's the entire first part of the movie is setups for all the payoffs at the end, because he talks about all the bullshit that they shouldn't do, and then they do it, and it just works.
Even if it doesn't work on a meta nature, like the stuff with Donald, and when he reveals to him that you can't take that away from me stuff, it also works on a character level, because you could tell he's never bothered to have this conversation with Donald before. He's always been so in his own head, being an asshole to everyone, and thinking he's great, while at the same time really thinking he's a piece of shit, that he's never bothered to talk to his brother about.
Well, he's always been so self-consumed with what other people think, he's never stopped to ask them what they do with that, and I think that's the lesson learned. And
in reality, what you find out, like in real life, is nobody's thinking about you. Nobody cares. Like they have their own shit to deal with, and
100%.
Why bother giving a shit? And Donald or Charlie's so in his own head, and by the time at the end when he's like, "I love you," and he tells that woman after he kisses her, and she's like, "Why now? I'm in a relationship." He's like, "I love you." He finally realizes, like, because of what Donald said, the script works in two ways, like making fun of stuff, being meta, and as far as the characters go, that's why I said it's one of the best scripts, because it works in so many different ways, and the way it's written is just so fascinating to me. I could talk about it for 12 hours.
I think it won the Oscar for best script, right?
No, it didn't win. It got nominated.
I think it won.
No, Nic Cage also got nominated, didn't win. Chris Cooper won.
I think it won best script. I'll look that up. Hold on, let's see. I'm pretty sure that won. I know Charlie Kaufman won an Oscar.
2002, Gosford Park.
Ew.
3, Talk to Her.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing about it, though, like we're talking about the meta and how there's something for everyone. And I think that's really a key point, too. It's like whether or not you pick up on all that shit, at the end of the day, just for the normal person that just enjoys a good movie, like this is a solid movie. If you just pay attention long enough, not sitting on your phone, you just actually zone into the movie.
So best adapted script would be A Beautiful Mind 2002, and then 2003 Pianist. So
the Pianist.
Did he win for best screenplay for being
so
John Malkovich?
Fucking long.
No, he got nominated. I don't think he's ever won.
I could have sworn he won an Oscar for something.
He might have won for most Dangerous Mind, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Maybe. Let me look him up. Hold on. What's his awards?
Charlie Kaufman Oscar, Best Original Screenplay 2005, and that was for... Oh, God, why doesn't it just tell me right off the bat?
Christ's sake. There we go.
He won for...
Oh, it's Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine, okay.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, that was his. He won for that one. That's right.
I will say this. As far as Charlie Kaufman movies go, which I'm a huge Charlie Kaufman fan, if you can't tell. Eternal Sunshine is his best movie. It's his best script. Or not best script, but best movie. I've liked Anomalisa. It's okay. And then I stopped. I didn't watch whatever that is.
New York, yeah.
I didn't watch that, and then I didn't watch
Synecdoche.
Synecdoche Jody. You ever hear that? You ever hear that?
Synecdoche, yeah, I remember that.
Synecdoche Jody. I sent you that a while ago.
Yeah. Synecdoche.
Yeah, it's. I never actually.
Did he? He didn't even write Synecdoche. Did he? Yeah, he did write it. Never mind.
He wrote it. He wrote everything. But here's the pronunciation on. I love it so much because at first I was like, "That's not how you pronounce," and I realized it's just pronounces things wrong. So Dick, listen to this.
This is so good.
Synecdoche Jody. Synecdoche Jody.
There's some really good ones. Do another one.
Dance and I were just sending these back and forth for a while. But yeah, that one's my favorite.
Synecdoche Jody. So stupid.
That's definitely my favorite one. There's some good ones, but that was definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
What's funny is Charlie Kaufman wrote Get a Life, The Edge, The Trouble with Larry, Dana Carvey's Show, and Ned and Stacy.
Well, I'm assuming it's more of like a script doctor thing, and he just got the credit at the end because I don't think he wrote The Edge, like the full script.
No, The Edge is the show.
Oh, I was thinking the
Edge
Bear movie.
No, the Bear movie that was written by David Mamet.
Yeah,
which is a great movie.
It's fine. It's a fine movie.
It's a ridiculous movie. It's a great, just for the performances of
Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin battling a bear. No,
it's hilarious. I love it.
Great movie.
I'm gonna kill the bear. That's right, because I'm gonna kill the motherfucker.
All right, so who haven't we talked about? The women. There's definitely we need to talk about the women and his sexual fantasies.
The women.
His whole character is way worse than he is in real life, but it's like he wrote his deepest fears about himself into a character.
Yeah,
that's why I love Cage's character so much. And then it's like the point of Donald, if you're not looking at him as Hollywood scripts, if you just look at him as a character, is just like that's who I should be. Because Donald is super positive and he's like he gets along with
outgoing.
People. He's like it's basically Charlie's thoughts in the beginning. This is why it's great because you don't see Donald at the beginning. It's him going, I should go over there and kiss her. I should kiss her. We could tell our kids about this moment, and he just drives away.
Yep.
And then, but that's what Donald is. He's that guy who just does that. He takes home Maggie Gyllenhaal like second one he meets her on the set of Being John Malkovich. He just fucks the makeup girl, and he's in a relationship now. And it's like Charlie saying, "This is what I want to be." So there's two layers to everything in the script. That's why, personally, that's why I say it's up there. But the women in Charlie's life, the first girl, the British girl, what the fuck? What's the actress's name? Anybody know?
She's in a lot of stuff. I forget her name.
She is. I just can't think of her. Cara Seymour.
Sure.
Amelia. He goes on a couple dates with her. He keeps not kissing her, and she's just like, "All right, bye." And he's like, "You want to go to a orchid show in Santa Barbara?" She's like, "No, I'm busy." And he fucks that up, and then he goes home and he masturbates thinking of her. And then why the fuck? I have so many questions about this movie. Why is what's her name? Pam. Is her name Pam Grier? No, Pam Grier is the black lady. Judy Greer. Why does Judy Greer get naked in this? I didn't.
I was gonna say this movie's the best thing about this movie is Judy Greer shows her breasts.
I think there's a lot left.
I've seen the movie like 20 times. I did not expect that.
I think there's a lot left on the cutting room floor, and this is what really happened. Because there's even like Stephen Tobolowsky. It says scenes deleted for him, and he's great. I love him, but I feel like there's got to be some stuff that wasn't in there. Maybe there's some deleted scenes somewhere that we could take a look at.
That'd be great to watch, but unfortunately, Shout Factory is unnecessary.
Sucks.
Shout Factory told you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Stephen Tobolowsky is supposed to play another Ranger along with Jim Beaver, who I love. He's so great.
Factory 112, so they know how to release movies. This one, fucking nothing on it. Yeah, Stephen Tobolowsky is great. He's also in Memento, one of my second favorite movie.
Good movie.
Peter Jason's in it. John Carpenter alum. He's in fucking every John Carpenter movie, pretty much.
He's in a lot of movies. Period.
A lot of them, but. Doug Jones. I don't remember Doug Jones in this movie. Do you? Augustus Margary?
Doug Jones?
Doug Jones is in this movie. I don't remember him in it.
In Adaptation?
Adaptation.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, even the
That's
title
fun.
itself works in two ways. So everything in this script works in two ways. So adaptation, they talk about like the flowers adapting and moving on, and they show like the beginning of history of the world, and they go forward. Even before Nic Cage comes up with that idea, and then they talk about the flowers adapting and moving on, and how the bees are perfect for it, and they fuck them and all that sort of stuff. But then also it works as adaptation because he's adapting a book into a screenplay, so it works in both ways as well. Just everything in this movie just clicks for me. This is one of my favorite movies. So
It's got lots of layers.
Yeah, lots of layers.
Lots of layers. It's wonderful. It's like a wonderful episode of the Night Gallery.
You go fuck yourself.
I wanted to get a reaction like that.
He also has a masturbation sequence with Tilda Swinton and
Who
Meryl
wouldn't? Who would not?
Me.
Because she's amazing. She's beautiful.
I would not.
Oh, Jansen. Sorry, let me. She looks like an alien fucked an ant.
Thank you. Ant. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think she's ugly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
I don't think she's ugly either, but she is a very niche group of people's type of woman.
Oh yeah, right here.
Apparently, Dick's.
Dick also is in the foot fetish, so he loved when Meryl Streep snorted that.
I don't like feet.
Held up
That's
her
gross. Feet's gross. Yeah, and I don't like Meryl Streep, so she's grosser.
I'm going with Judy Greer on this. Out of the entire cast of female characters,
100%.
I would go with the British girl. Actually,
she's second.
I thought she was cute. Yeah,
she's second.
Judy Greer or the makeup girl? What's her name?
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
No, Maggie Gyllenhaal looks like a fucking 95-year-old woman now.
No, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
No, I'm talking about in prime.
Maggie Gyllenhaal looks like the comic book writer who wrote Watchmen, Alan Moore. If you look at her, like her eyes and his eyes are exactly the same, and they have the same facial structure. Only he has a giant beard. They look exactly the same.
It's the same genetics as Jake, but Jake has gotten better looking every year, and has turned in.
He's fucking handsome.
Yeah. She looks like she's gonna offer an apple to Snow White.
That thing under her nose, that whatever the fuck this is called, just keeps getting longer and longer and longer.
Remember that show we just watched with that the D character, the tranny character, going to go eat the junk of that guy. Jake Gyllenhaal all the way.
Yeah.
Do that to Jake in a second.
I'm looking Maggie Gyllenhaal 2021. See what we get.
Yeah, and Alan Moore. Do a comparison. Alan Moore and Maggie Gyllenhaal have the same eyes. It's gross.
It just.
I was in the movie Secretary. Oh my god! It's gross. God. You're not the only one who lost everything, Harvey.
She's Two-Faced now.
She's Two-Faced.
All right. I don't want to just make fun of actresses all day, but
I do.
So he masturbates to everyone, and then the one time Donald comes in the room, he's like, "Fuck! Knock!
Leave me alone, Donald. What do you want?"
He probably wants to keep going, and he's like, his brother just jumps on the bed. He's like, "Fine, tell me about your stupid screenplay." It's called The Three.
The Three. So I'm having I want to do a motif.
Yeah, I'm going with the teeth. Broken mirrors.
Broken mirrors.
Shattered reflection of my character's like
broken psyche.
That's why I say that character is just there to represent like Hollywood cliches and like you have to do it this way. Well, he says I love when he keeps going. Well, Bob says you have to know the rules to break the rules, and Bob said, and he's my favorite line in the movie is, "You sound like you're in a cult," and he just keeps walking.
Bob would say that.
I think that line has been sampled in other movies too.
It's great.
It sounds really familiar.
Jansen, I am glad you like this movie because
it was great. I really enjoyed it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was skeptical at the beginning. I was like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know if this is one that Phoenix has liked. I've never talked to him, so I'm curious to find out what it's about. But it ended up being really great.
Yeah, I had this on DVD for the longest time, and I'm so glad to get rid of it. And I'm so glad to have it on Blu-ray because it looked great watching it on TV. Because I usually just watch the file I have, like you guys do. Yeah. But this one I actually threw in the Blu-ray and will bother to watch it. So that should tell you something.
Yeah, I got lazy. It's on Prime right now, so I just watched it downstairs instead.
Well, it's gonna be a better version than what I sent you, so I'm glad.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I might not have liked it as much. I'm kind of a snob when it comes to quality.
So. I always think I am, and then 12 minutes into the movie, I'm not even thinking about it. It's like all grainy and like we watched some.
I mean, it really depends. Like, it depends on how bad it is, right? I mean, if it's like 720p, fine. But if we're talking like anything below that, I might have an issue with it. Yeah.
480 missing frames, skips.
Yeah. Like when we have to watch an episode like we did tonight, like it skips because of connection, and that drives me nuts. So it kind of takes a point value off of it for me.
Which is unfortunate, but I don't even know, so that sucks. But
I know.
Yeah, adaptation. It's interesting.
What else is there to say?
Well, Brian Cox. Let's talk about Brian Cox for a minute. Brian Cox is the writing teacher, the writing guy.
Great actor.
A real life character who suggested Brian Cox play him. Which I'm glad he did, because Brian Cox is fucking awesome in this movie.
Yeah.
He's only in a couple minutes and he steals those scenes.
Yeah.
Doesn't he do that in everything he's in, though?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's just one of those like big boisterous characters that just like puts everything he has into it and makes you really feel
he's a
it.
Stage actor, the way he talks, everything is screamed.
Well, and he's full on monologuing in those scenes where he's on the stage too, like, and it's great. You're like totally believe him. You're like, oh man, this guy feels this way.
And I love the fact that you don't hear him. You see him monologuing, and it's all Nic Cage voiceover to get to that one joke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just Brian Cox got in the background and just talking with no audio. You hear Nic Cage going, "Why the fuck do I write this thing? Like, I need to get the fuck out of it. Like, why the fuck am I here? I don't belong here. Like, why the fuck am I in this writing class? I'm such a hack." He's like, "God help you if you use voiceover in your movie." Like, silence. And then Nic Cage is like, "What do you do if you need to adapt something and it's nothing happens because it's about real life, so nothing happens?" And Brian Cox just goes on like a 7-minute tearing him down. Like if you don't think anything happens in real life, then you're a fucking idiot. Like people are murdered every day. Babies, kids watch their mothers get killed. War, famine, genocide. Like if you don't think things happen in real life, you're wasting my fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And just rails on him, and then Nic Cage goes outside and is like, "What you just said didn't affect my script, but shook me to my core
as a human."
Yeah. And he just goes, "Yeah, it'll do." Like you can tell, "Yeah, it'll do that."
He's like, "Yep, have a good night."
Yeah, like, no, we need to talk.
It's like, wait, I need to talk to you more.
And I love the fact that he reads. You can tell he read some of the book to him. He's like, page. He's like, and that's it. He's like, yeah. He's like, whoa. You can kind of. He wants to go like, "Oh, you're right. Nothing happens in there. No character movement. No changes. Nothing happens."
Yeah. This should have been.
You have to invent some shit in there, and that's why we get that third act.
Yeah, you have to invent something.
Yeah.
And that is the twist. Again, meta. That's the twist, and
that's when he goes back and calls Donald and be like,
"Oh." But the best part of that whole third act though is Chris Cooper. I think I'm going to go in this porno business on the internet. These guys love naked chicks. It don't matter if they're fat, ugly, skinny. They like it all.
Yeah, and she's like, "Great. So I haven't seen a ghost yet." And he's like, "Oh, you want me to take you out? Yeah, I'll take you out to the swamp. No big deal." He takes her to Florida swamp to go find the ghost orchid.
Yeah,
they're out there, and she immediately loses interest.
Yeah,
she just immediately is like, "I don't give a fuck about this."
Yeah,
and then he gets lost, and she's just like, "Can we just go?" And he starts going like, "You fucking bitch! You're leeching on me like everyone else, and get your own fucking life."
You want your own fucking life, and you can't have one because you fucking New York bitch.
Yeah, we haven't talked to Chris Cooper that much. We need to, because he's great in this movie.
Well, he won the Oscar, and that's for sure. Yeah.
Apparently, Susan Orlean was supposed to be in the movie, but her scenes got deleted too.
Yeah, I wonder what
Shout Factory could.
It just says woman in supermarket.
If you look up how long this movie was edited for, you'll never guess. A year and a half.
Jesus.
Wow.
It's the longest movie that studio, whatever studio it is, had a movie in editing bay. It's crazy.
Shit.
That's nutty.
There must have been issues with it. We were trying to figure it out, like what the fuck is this movie?
It's a weird movie to adapt to, so it's got to be a weird movie to edit. Because you're like, how much do we do? Like, so
how much is too much? How much is not enough?
Apparently, Stephen Tobolowsky had a great contract where he's like, "I get credited no matter what." Like, but
I'll get paid.
Cooper, Chris Cooper is like this. He's supposed to be like he looks like a loser on the outside because he's missing his teeth and he's got
He's a genius.
Fan. He doesn't have money. He's dirty, but he's got all these ideas and he's like a really smart guy. Like he genuinely is, and he keeps shouting all this wisdom.
He's got money. Like he has money, he just loses it. Like he can make money no matter what he does. He doesn't care about. He doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about that shit. That's not his thing.
But I'm saying, like, if you're a woman looking at him from, like, a woman from New York, like Meryl Streep is.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you're looking at him like, that's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Can we talk about for a second how this woman, Susan Orlean, lucked out with getting Meryl Streep as her actor? Like,
that's probably
Susan Orlean is a fucking hag, if you look her up.
No.
You mean Meryl Streep?
Well, I mean, Meryl Streep may not be the most best looking female on the planet, but
I'm sorry, I have an animosity toward Meryl Streep. I can't stand them.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I love all of her work or anything, but she is revered in the industry, so I can say that.
Yes, so was Harvey Weinstein. I mean,
I'll go in the middle of you guys.
I don't think you should equate those two things together.
Sure, you can. You can totally do that. Hollywood is full of shit.
I'd fuck Meryl Streep.
Oh, sure, who wouldn't? But I would enjoy it.
Oh, I would.
I would enjoy it. I would be like, oh, I think you overact now, and you're the same person in every movie. Oh, okay.
She's so good of an actress that maybe I am now. I don't know.
Just fucking her, and you don't even know it.
She could be playing girlfriend. I don't know.
Listen, Phoenix.
I love this role for Chris Cooper. By the way, like I feel like everything I've ever seen him in, he plays like some hard ass. Or some like really like strung out character that's just like doing his thing, and I don't even see him in this character. I just see the character, which was really cool because I feel like he just plays himself in a lot of the stuff that I've watched him in.
My name is Dave. This is my partner. What you selling? Oh no, he's my partner in life. The faggots really know how to throw it in your face. That's on American Beauty.
Oh yeah,
Chris Cooper. When he played a bigot, closeted homosexual Nazi bigot.
Yeah, he's the only part of that movie.
Who shoots Kevin Spacey in the back of the head. Spoiler alert.
Because Chris Cooper is gay.
Yes, that's the twist.
That's the whole thing about the movie.
That's the most overrated Oscar winner ever.
Yes.
And I think everybody's figured it out.
Crash or that?
Both. I think everybody.
I like Crash. I can watch Crash.
I hate Crash.
American Beauty, I can't even watch. I'm like, this is so fucking.
American Beauty sucks.
How did that win Best Oscar or Best Picture? Beyond fucking me.
Because nothing else was out.
There we go.
What is this?
He
should naked pictures of Meryl Streep.
No, it's Susan Orlean. Like
she looks like a girl that read a book about flowers. That's all I can remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Meryl Streep is definitely way more attractive, but
right. I mean, look at the picture on the far right. They hold them side by side.
But it does go into characters because when I think about this movie, because I haven't seen this movie in 5-6 years, but I used to watch it all the time, and I forgot. I remember the part about her. They basically make the plant, the orchid, the ghost orchid, into a drug that you could snort, and she apparently becomes addicted to it. I remember that. But what I forgot is it cuts back to like now after she's written the book and Charlie's adapting the screenplay and he goes to meet her. He meets Tilda Swinton at a bar and he's like, "Oh no, I can't do that because I'm writing this book, writing the screenplay. So I got to go by." Ditches her, goes to New York. He's like, "I need to talk to her." Gets there, bails on her. He's in the elevator with her and just goes, "No." Gets too shy. I love when he's like, and she's like, elevator, but. And then he's like he talks to Donald about it, and then Donald goes in his stead and meets her.
I'll pretend to be you.
Yeah, and he's like, here's the last. He's like doing this thing.
Yeah.
He's like overly confident and like trying to be sleuthy, even though he's not at all. He's like, "Do you still talk to LaFair or whatever his name is?" And she's like, "No, you write about him, and you don't really need it. When you write about him for so long, you get attached. But no, I'm not in love with him." And he goes back to the hotel room and he goes, "That bitch is lying."
Who would you have dinner with? Who would you want to have dinner with?
Yeah. I'm going to start saying that. That bitch is lying.
They always say Lincoln and Jesus.
That's Einstein and Jesus. And then they decide to go to Florida because they're watching her with binoculars and they see her laptop and it says like or computer and it says flight to Miami tonight, and then she hides her crying from her husband, who's played by director. What the fuck was his name? What director?
It's just the guy who directed LA Confidential.
Curtis Hanson.
Curtis Hanson, yeah.
Yeah, Curtis Hanson. There's a lot of directors in this, but she is going to Florida. They go all the way to Florida to Miami with her, and then Donald goes to sneak up to the house after they see both of them go in, Chris Cooper and her. And then Charlie's like, no, I'll go. And he goes in there and sneaks. Of course, he fucks it up and gets spotted and gets caught. And this is where the detachment from reality really becomes apparent, because she immediately is like, she's high because she's just snorting a flower. She's like, we got to kill him. Like, we got it. And he's like, what? Chris Cooper's like, what the fuck? Why? She's like, this will ruin me. And Chris Cooper in reality is like, he's fully nude going, I don't give a shit. She's like, that's the guy writing the script about me. And she goes, oh, nice to meet you, man. He's fully nude. There's this dong in his face, meeting him. He should have shook his dick. That would have been better. But that's what I think. That's the attachment from reality. Jansen, your mic's off.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say I'm confused by this. I was looking at the cast for it. It says John Cusack uncredited as the rest of in part of the rest of the cast. What was he? Another cut scene?
No, he's in the beginning when they're doing being John.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He's it's the same character, the same scenes from being John Malkovich with was it 7th and a half floor?
Yeah,
it's like this half floor. That's why they're all like crunched, squished down,
sitting on the ground and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got the ponytail.
I guess they said in the making of that movie, everybody had fucking back problems after that shooting those scenes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it sounds funny in reality, then you do it.
Hell.
So reality is definitely different than writing it, and you're like, oh yeah, everyone's, because days are so long in those, and there's a lot in the opening, the first half of that movie in that set. So
yeah, well, you're asking for a lot in that.
I think that's why they had that old guy sitting a lot.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there in a chair. He's like, no.
Fuck you.
Not doing that. I'm 90. He died shortly after.
Listen, Charlie, go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. But yeah, no, it's a great movie, great meta film. It's one of the shit. I mean, like, this movie will never be made again. Like, a movie like this is never going to get made again.
Well, it shouldn't.
Well, I mean, it's too weird. I mean, it's just
it shouldn't have got made the first time.
You're never it's like being John Malkovich is such a weird movie.
Yeah,
like the only reason he got this made is because being John Malkovich, and then
I mean, nobody is greenlighting this type of meta shit anymore. It's all blockbuster bullshit now.
Well, it's not even that anymore, because blockbusters can't even make money anymore. It's like,
well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Right, it's all that big Hollywood shit that.
And you got
Free Guy is the most meta thing.
Well, the big time franchise movies are probably over because the studios can't afford to pay it out anymore, and that's why Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney, which is unheard of. That's like the biggest "what the fuck are you thinking" moment in history. You do not sue the studio.
I say every time Disney gets sued, fuck them.
Well, no, but I'm just saying you just don't do that. You're going to ruin your career. Your career's over. You don't fucking bite the hand that feeds you. You don't. They gave her. She's made millions upon millions of dollars playing this character, and because they waited the last minute to make her own standalone movie after her character's dead, and what the fuck do you think is going to happen? It's going to be a huge hit. Nobody cares. Your character's dead.
Nobody cared when your character was alive. Let's talk about that.
That's the thing. You're lucky to have that. And she wanted to pay. She wanted the payout deal like Warner Brothers did, but Warner Brothers lost $1 billion because they had to pay out all the actors for having to be on streaming. They fucked up. So I mean, it's bad. It's a bad place right now. Hollywood is in trouble. It's not good. I think
she watched the movie and then went, "Oh, this character has way more screen time. She's way better than I am in this movie. Fuck, I'm suing them." Like,
why is Zach Braff's girlfriend better than me? Yeah, Florence Pugh.
That Black Widow was so forgettable.
What was it? What did we watch?
Oh, we watched Adaptation.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Black Attention. Number one.
How do you guys feel about this? Do you think this is accurate?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, like I was saying before, I think before we started on the quality side, I'd say it's pretty interchangeable for 1 and 2 for me.
The Weatherman is so high on your lists. You should have them be on the fucking bottom.
No, but look at the ones under it.
Yeah, I know. Those are better movies.
No.
Con Air is better than The Weatherman 100 times.
Con Air has...
I would say Con Air is fucking 100 times better than The Weatherman.
Well, what would I rather watch? Con Air. What's a better movie? Not Con Air.
Con Air.
Con Air is enjoyably... It's stupid. It's real stupid.
They call her Camel Toe, David.
Oh, speaking of Con Air, we got a Con Air reunion here because Malkovich, Cusack, and Cage are all in this movie.
Holy shit, you're right.
Cusack and Cage are in like 3 or 4 movies together.
Too bad Cole Meany wasn't in there.
Yeah, because they're in Con Air. They're in this. They're both in Frozen Ground. They're both in Arsenal, which is not a good movie.
No, John Cusack is also Redbox material now. He does 10 movies a year in Bulgaria.
Nic Cage has actually surpassed John Cusack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
With theatrical releases.
I would say or Nic Cage has surpassed for Travolta, Cusack. Who else would be? I'd say Nic Cage is kind of on top right now with Pay.
Danny Glover?
Oh, absolutely. Way bigger than Danny
Glover.
Hold
on. I know, Phoenix, I know you haven't seen it yet, but I just need to sidebar for just a minute and talk about how the Suicide Squad, how fucking perfect Sylvester Stallone's role in that movie is for how dumb he is.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's so great. I love the Suicide Squad.
It was so
great.
Perfect.
Suicide Squad was a great movie.
It was good.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, you got to watch it tonight.
I honestly didn't realize it was out.
Yeah, it's on HBO.
Yeah, it came out last Tuesday, didn't it?
Came out Thursday night, yeah.
Oh, Thursday.
It's fucking hilarious.
It is miles better than the first one.
The first one is borderline watchable.
First one's garbage.
This music video, and then it turns into some weird
This one actually has a real plot that's like fun and
the first 5 minutes. If you're not laughing, you're not on our side. Okay, so the part TDK. What's that mean? Why is your name TDK?
It means TDK.
It means TDK. So your name is just letters? All our names are letters, stupid. Oh, it's funny. There's some
underknown actors in that first scene too that I was surprised to see having that role, but then I quickly realized why they were in that role.
They're all friends of Jimmy Gunn.
Yeah. Nathan Fillion has a lot of friends.
Well, that and with what happens in that first scene too.
I noticed everyone from Guardians of the Galaxy just shifted over to DC to this movie because of him.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like Sean, his brother, Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker's in every one of Gunn's movies. He's in every one. And so's Paul Henry. What's his name? Greg Henry. Greg Henry. He's the guy from Payback and Slither. He's the blonde guy. He's in Guardians. He's in all of James Gunn movies. He's a good actor too. He's great in Payback.
I've never seen Slither.
Slither's great.
I want to watch it.
Slither's awesome. Slither's a great movie. A lot of fun. It's very funny.
Does anybody else hate Viola Davis?
No,
she's great.
Okay.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Just don't like her. No, it has nothing to do with that.
Greg Henry. Okay, I know who that is.
Yeah, Greg Henry.
Yeah.
He's in a bunch of. He's great. But
Payback is definitely
Payback. He's awesome. He's great.
Star Trek Insurrection.
That's right. Yeah, he's great in Star Trek Insurrection.
Oh.
Does it look like I'm? Hey, the dinner's on me. Does it look like I'm going for my fucking wallet?
Yeah. He is great in Payback.
Yeah, Payback's great. Yeah,
I love Payback.
Payback is a good one.
I never saw Payback straight up.
I haven't either. I hear the difference. It's like half an hour shorter.
It looked like I don't want to watch that version.
Well, it's like all it is the end is he kills Greg Henry. That's it. That's the end of the movie. Basically, he doesn't kill Chris Christopher's not even in it. He's not even in the movie.
Ooh.
That was all added in the direct. That was Mel Gibson's cut.
Payback, I put in that league. Speaking of Curtis Hanson, with like LA Confidential, where it's like really solid movies that are about crime.
Same writer.
That but most people don't really care about, and I fucking love them.
Yeah,
but Payback is great. And I love the fact
Payback.
that it has that guy Mel Gibson in it.
I just looked up who plays the Weasel.
Yeah, Shotgun.
Shotgun.
Yeah, Weasel. Weasel. Is this guy a werewolf? No, he's Weasel. He's not he's harmless. Well, he's not harmless. He's killed 27 children, but he's a good guy. He's all right. That's fucking funny.
All right, let's stop spoiling it. Let's stop spoiling it for
uh,
Phoenix. It's fucking good.
Got Danny Trejo and Con Air.
Yeah.
They knew the truth to call me Johnny 500.
S.A.
I mean, even John Cena was good in this. I liked his
fucking
part.
John Cena is amazing in this movie. He's so fucking funny.
I liked Pete Davidson, Flula Borg. Like, they were all just funny parts.
In Fast 9, John Cena plays Vin Diesel's brother.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Wow.
There's a scene in Suicide Squad with John Cena. I'm not going to say anything, but I died laughing immediately. He comes on screen, and it's just like, he has such a humor. He's funny.
Yeah, it's
just like, oh my god, this is great.
I might have to go watch it again tonight.
I watched it again today. I watched half of it today.
Well, I was on like 4 hours of sleep, so like I was saying, I was falling asleep the first time I watched it because I was just so tired. So I need to watch it again.
Well, I went and watched it in the theater Thursday night, and then I was watching it today. Like, I watched it for half an hour because fucking HBO Max sucks. Every time I watch something, it cuts off in half an hour. No matter what, it just says, "Oops, something went wrong. You have to restart your app." It sucked. HBO Max is garbage. It's a garbage.
My HBO Max experience is not like that at all. So
mine I've never had a problem.
No, I've had nothing but problems.
That sounds like your network issue.
It sounds like
I don't have any other. No other streaming service has done that to me except this one.
What are you watching it through?
PS4.
Yeah, there's your
Could be that.
But nothing else does that.
Yeah, just because nothing else doesn't mean that like the app version on PS4
I've never had
is
HBO Max crash. I will say ESPN, no matter what device you watch it on, it fucking sucks. ESPN app. I signed into Jansen's house, logged into my account and everything, set it to auto sign in. The second he tried to do it, it didn't work. I was like, what was the point of that?
Because it knew you were trying to give it away for free.
Well, the fuck do they care?
Oh, they care.
Fuck them.
They're gonna make that. That's the next law that's going to be mandated is everyone has to have their own
no sharing passwords.
Exactly. That's what they're going to do. Because that's the only reason why I have Netflix is I share that. I don't buy Netflix.
Well, I gave you my Hulu sign in, so yeah.
I know. Yeah, I haven't used it though. I didn't plug it in.
Okay, so Adaptation. What do you guys give this out of 10? I gave it a 9. I really do enjoy this movie. 10 for me.
The Shawshank.
Shawshank, yeah. That's for Casino, Shawshank, shit like that. Like Jansen, your mic is muted. You keep trying to talk and you muted yourself.
Sorry, I said Godfather 2.
Yeah. Those are 10. Those are 10 movies.
Like that, those kind of movies. Drama is mostly, honestly.
Yeah. No, this is a solid 9 for me too.
Yeah, and that's a good score for this.
100%.
When I was trying to, Matala walked in when I was watching this, and I was like, I paused it and I go, okay, so Charlie Kaufman wrote, and I was trying to describe it. It took me like 12 minutes, and I had to keep pausing, going, all right, so this, and she fell asleep, and I was like, oh,
just walks out of the room, back like Homer Simpson into the bush.
With a movie like this, you might as well just like restart it and be like, you just watch it because I can't.
She woke up for the last half hour, and she goes,
so confused.
Like 20 minutes later, we're sitting there, and I was talking about nonsense, and she goes, so was she was in love with him? And I was like, oh, fuck you. You missed the... No, I'm not doing...
I'm not breaking this whole thing down. Watch the podcast.
Yeah, that's how much fuck fish.
Oh, thank you, Dick. I told that line to her because that's one of my second favorite line after you sound like you're in a cult. Yeah. Line. My second favorite line is she's like, they're in the van and she's like, I noticed you really got into aquariums and like, how do you give up on that? Like if you invested so much of your soul, so much of your life, he's like, yeah, I got all these fish and I got like 10,000 fish and he's listing off all their species and stuff. And he's like, and then one day I woke up and I was like, fuck fish. And I got rid of them all. And I swore off, I'm never going back in that ocean. And 15 years later, here I am. I've never stepped foot back in the ocean. And I love the ocean. That's how much fuck fish.
That's how much fuck fish.
I love that line.
Oh, that's great.
I totally sympathize with that, like that idea though, because I'm the type of person who will pick up a hobby and like be so into it for like 6 months or something, and then just completely fucking forget about it and never touch it ever again.
Yeah, I think most people are like that with something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That joke only worked because he spent 4 minutes describing how much he got rid of and how much he sold these things off, and he's like, and that's how much fuck fish. And when he gets to that line, I'm like, oh my god, that's a perfect line.
Yep.
Oscar. He got an Oscar for this.
Well, he's so good at it, though. That's like you forget how good he is because he's playing every facet of a human emotion. Because his storyline, he talks about he lost his mom and his uncle in the car accident. That's why he lost his teeth. That's why he doesn't get his teeth fixed. It's because it reminds him of what he did. And then he lost his business. He loses everything in 1 year.
Well, like I said, in everything that I've seen him in before, he plays a certain type of character, and this is something else. It's completely way out there, and he became that person. He doesn't even look like himself.
This is my second favorite Chris Cooper character. Strangely enough, my favorite Chris Cooper character is a much smaller role, which is the town. He's just in a couple scenes, but I love him in that movie. Yeah. He's been lying to his son about his mom for his entire life. And he's
gave your mother the needle. I gilded her with a needle. I chemicaled her.
Some people you can snip with the shears. Some of them you get with the chemical. He died right after that movie.
He died. He looked like he was dying on the movie.
But anyway, I love Chris Cooper in that movie. He's only a couple scenes in like a prison phone conversation, but he's so good in that movie.
I gotta die 9 times before I can get out of here.
Well, part of it is he's an actor that needs to be older.
Yeah,
because he looks sad. He has that look already. So the fact that he's older in the town makes it work better. But
he was great in The Amazing Spider-Man. He played Norman Osborn for like 2 seconds.
How bad are those movies? Sony, go fuck yourself.
Oh, they're awful.
Oh, man, those are bad.
So didn't Sony make this movie?
No.
This is what movie? What company did this movie?
This is Columbia Pictures.
That's Sony.
It's Columbia.
Columbia is Sony.
Sony didn't make the movie.
They own the
company that made the movie. That's a huge difference. There really is.
The first thing I ever saw him in was October Sky.
With Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's good at that too.
And he was so good in that. And I remember it because it was one of those ones that we got to watch like in class at school when we were like doing some sort of science, like learning how to make rockets and shit. But man, he was good in that.
Man, what is mine? Money Train. God.
Jesus. Oh wow, that's right.
This Boy's Life with DiCaprio and De Niro.
Chris Cooper was on that.
Guilty by Suspicion. What did I know him from? Ooh.
Patriot, Born Identity is when I really got to know him.
Yeah.
Me, Myself, and Irene. What a fucking weird career. Born Identity.
Well, the best line for Me, Myself, and Irene is when Renee Zellweger to Richard Jenkins goes, I smoke pot. What is that? Was that a crime? And he goes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he plays a lot of these like hard and edgy roles where he's like rode hard, put away wet, man's man kind of bullshit. And it's just, he's so good at it.
He reminds me a lot of Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
But Chris Christopherson does too many cowboy movies. Chris Cooper does dramas and he does like crime movies and he plays the drama in the crime movie. He's so good in that role. Like this, where he gets caught. Let me give a shout out to Jim Beaver, who plays Ranger Troy in this movie, because Chris Cooper's pulling out flowers with a bunch of Seminole Indians. He gets caught on the side of the road by Jim Beaver, a little character actor, Jim Beaver, who's in this one spot, and that's it. And he's like, "So what do you guys got there?" He pulls up. He's the sheriff, and he's like, "Oh, I got a bunch of flowers. I got this, 120 flowers, and all in told. He's like, "Yeah, that's my point." And he's like, "No, they pulled them out by hand. A lot of them are endangered too." He's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm getting at here." He's like, "That's really illegal what you're doing. You can't pull flowers from state lands." He's like, "Yeah, but you ever hear of the case?" And he does this whole spiel. And you can tell, there's even a line in the movie where Meryl Streep's reading voiceover, and he says, like, he loves flowers, but he loves more Like the part where he's like so smart about not getting caught and arrested for it. Like he wants to like go, hey, this is what I did. Go fuck yourself. Seminole Indians can pull from the land. I can't. I didn't touch them. He loves that like fuck the man mentality more than he loves anything.
He's great in the Muppets.
He loves to give authority the finger.
Yeah, he loves to have that like technically I'm not legally in the wrong here.
Yeah,
and that adds a lot to his character. Just her saying dialogue off screen adds so much to his character.
What the fuck?
And that's why the voiceover, like Brian Cox is saying, don't do voiceover, but the voiceover does so much for the characters, and so much so that what's his name that Brian Cox plays?
McKee.
He came out after the movie came out, and he said, I don't want to say don't do voiceover. I just want to say don't do voiceover to explain what we've already seen.
Right.
That's more what I meant when I say don't do voiceover.
Well, it just goes back to that. If it doesn't add any value to it, why are you doing it? Right.
Yes. American Horror Story with all the
exactly
the bullshit characters. Yeah. If it adds to it, great. If it doesn't, why the fuck are you doing it?
Yeah, it's a waste of money at that point.
All right, guys, let's get out of here.
Let's do it.
9s all around sounds like.
Yeah.
Noin.
It's up there with Pig.
Yeah.
And Raising Arizona, which Jansen,
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
You're gonna watch it tomorrow.
What's tonight? I haven't decided yet. The dogs are losing their minds.
I will just say, when you're watching the movie, watch Nic Cage's face, and you go, "That motherfucker can act."
All right.
And look at that movie and count the opening. How long it takes for the credits to start?
Yeah. There's
All
a part where he gets thrown a knife into a board, and he's like, it makes me laugh so hard every time. His face is ridiculous.
Get your goddamn hands off my wife.
I do have one last question, and then we'll get out of here.
No.
Where do you put this as far as my ridiculous Cage, quiet Cage, quirk Cage, or rage Cage?
Oh, this is Quirk Cage.
This is Quirk Cage.
1,000 times over.
This is Quirk Cage, but with like
Because raising
like Quirk Cage on purpose. You know what I mean? There's Quirk Cage where he's like doing it and it's a bit kind of. This I think like he's doing it because that's what the character requires.
Yeah. I put like Raising Arizona in Quirk Cage, so therefore I don't put this in Quirk Cage. I almost put this in Quiet Cage, but in a good way. It's like straddling that line between quiet and quirk.
Well, I would say Peggy Sue Got Married is Quirk Cage times a
I
million.
would call this adaptable Cage.
But would you say this is the same as Peggy Sue Got Married? I wouldn't. I think
no.
the movie itself is quirky, but he's not quirky in it. He's playing it straight. Both characters.
This is character Cage is what this should be.
Yeah. I mean, there's only a couple of those, so I didn't create a whole category for that. So maybe we have to come up with a fifth category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that works. Let's get out of here. So we have the outro. Shall we do it?
Yay.
Fuck yeah.
Citizens of Wonderland, rejoice in the fact that we have covered another movie on the show. Go to liwstudios.com for more videos and podcasts. Subscribe to Loitering in Wonderland on YouTube. Search on Amazon for books by Richard Pierce. Until next time, and in the meantime, we are Phoenix West, Dick Dickett and Jansen Carlin. So long, citizens. All hail our glorious leader. Shut off the fucking show now.